Hi Santhosh, good evening. Thanks for joining. Thanks to everybody who's joining. We'll give it another 2 minutes while Santhosh is setting up. So yeah, before we begin, do you guys want to share some of the problems or some issues you face while working? I'll share mine. So I drive to work sometimes and it's a long way. So there are days where my back aches a lot and I blame it on the car, but there's so many things I can do to prevent it. So I'm personally attending today's session to learn those techniques to increase my productivity at work and to reduce the stress that comes with it and the commute. So yeah, thanks Santosh for taking out the time and teaching us and taking out 60 minutes to teach us some techniques. So yeah, I'm only looking forward to it. Guys, you want to use the chat or you want to unmute yourself and share some of the issues you face. It could be physical, anxiety, mental, anything. Yeah, you can do that now so that when Santosh starts, he knows who he's talking to and he can also share and help you with the techniques. Yeah, you can even switch on your video and yeah, let's begin.
Hey, Pinkasha.
Yeah, Santosh, you're not able to share your screen?
Let me try again.
Yeah. I made you the co-host. Should
Perfect.
yeah,
Thanks a lot.
yeah.
Great. Good evening, friends. I'm pretty sure the weather here in Bangalore is good after a very long while.
Right, right. I was just
Uh,
discussing it with my colleague today that today's weather is nice. Turning
it's
out.
a salubrious weather, very healthy,
Yeah.
something that we look forward to, especially when you feel an urge to grab a coffee or something to snack on, a hot snack. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And the one other temptation of such weather is that you tend to become pretty cozy and just put yourself on bed, snug yourself out, right? So,
Yeah. It's better we are in office so that there are low chances we become cozy
right,
and have space to move around.
absolutely.
For people who are
Yeah,
working from home, it might be
could
a
be. Yeah.
little tough to
But
get out of
that's
the
the temptation. That's the temptation.
bed.
While I used to be in office, I would just wish that I were at home, just enjoying the rain and all that rain brings along with it. Yeah. So, good evening, friends. This evening we are going to be looking at move, breathe, and thrive. Three most important aspect of our life, even as we hustle it out to find the purpose and calling and achieve the goal that we would want to achieve. We often forget to take a break, right? And that's why we are this evening going to discover mindful postures and movements for work, especially for working professional. And for that, I would really appreciate all the folks to just flood the chat box. If your bandwidth would allow you to, please do come off camera and show yourself to us so that we would really love to see you. And we would want to hear from you, right? So if you're not willing to come off mute and speak, totally fine. You can always go hit the chat and type it out. So, yeah, let's begin. Do you spend most of your work day sitting at a desk, just as you are right now, often in front of a computer, a screen? And how would you answer this question? You will type yes on the chat box if you work in such an environment for more than 5 hours a day. If you're sitting before your computer for more than 5 hours a day, type yes. Kind of. Type kind of if you are working for more than, say, just 3 hours, around 3 hours a day. And type if you're just working for 2 hours or less than 2 hours. Let's see. Almost every day. Absolutely. Himanshu. Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, wow. There's one person who works less than 2 hours. But most of you, yes, more than 5 hours a day, and almost every day, day in and day out, you are with your laptops. Yes, more than 5 hours. Yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty sure some of you may dare even say, oh, 7 days a week. Right? So depends on the kind of work that you work and the kind of team you have and stuff. So yeah, as of now, majority, more than 90% of you are working more than 5 hours a day, and absolutely tiring it is to sit before a screen, right? But many of us think physical labor is tiring enough, but ask those who sit for more than 5 hours before a computer how tiring it can get, right? Not just physically, mentally, emotionally, all aspect, right? We just feel the burnout at the end of the day. But what is the objective for this evening session? Let's look at the objectives for the session. First and foremost, we will recognize common posture issue that most of us may have, right? And the impact of prolonged sitting on the body. And then we'll learn few easy office friendly stretches to relieve tension in key areas impacted by prolonged sitting. And then we'll also make some simple workspace adjustments that promote comfort and focus. We'll see how we can tweak our workplace. And then finally, we will integrate small and very intentional movements so that we'll be aware of our body throughout the day. So this is the objective for the day. And here you go. The very first thing that we're going to talk about is posture challenges. We are going to recognize common posture issues and the impact. If you do not know, if you sit for long and your work entails for you to look at a screen, what happens is you subconsciously are leaning your head and neck towards the screen, right? And you're sitting for a very long time. And what happens the moment you get up and walk, or if someone comes and sees you, the very evident thing that they would see is your posture is all messed up, right? You do not sit straight, you do not walk straight, you do not stand straight, so many things, right? And hence, it's only very important for us to know what are some of the posture challenges. Now, before that, we have the same person in three postures. Which of this works in a IT company? Come on, let's see. Consider the first one as 1, number 2, and number 3. Which of these works in an IT company? Let's go. Number 2. Oh my goodness. Number 3, number 1 and 3. Absolutely. Yeah, whoever said it's 2, Gautam, I believe that you are a health freak. You hit the gym 6 days a week. 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1. Perfect. Amazing. Now it's very obvious, isn't it? And which of
काय
these
करा फिर बोलो
is a fitness trainer? Which of these is a fitness trainer? Come on. 2, obviously. Now, if you want to be 2 and still hold on to your IT job, you are going to break a sweat, right? It's not going to be easy. And what happens is, along with this posture that we see here, we also feel the mental and psychological burnout at the end of the day. And hence, the moment we reach home, we do not have time even for our kids when they ask or when they call on us to play with them, right? It's pretty hard for us because we are mentally and physically exhausted. So if you want to keep your IT job and also be a fitness trainer, you can't have both, right? But what you can do is you can continue holding your IT job while being a healthy person and having some good posture at least. Now, let's look at some of the very common postural issues. First one that we see is forward head posture. This is very common, and nowadays, forget about people who worked in IT 10 decades back, who had desktops to work with. Nowadays, our heads is even more tilted down because we use smartphones, right? And we are not just working with our PCs while at work. Soon after we sign out, what do? We are so glued to the secondary screen, that is the phone that we have, and hence our head comes naturally forward. And I'm pretty sure most of us might have this posture, majority of us. And then you also have the rounded shoulder. Shoulder is not straight, it's rounded like this, and there will always be this slant here, right? So there is this thing that bothers many people as well. And when they become extremely old, they would really lean forward, right? That's the risk that they carry along. And then you have the slumped back. Because you're sitting for a very long time and you're unable to move even to your left or to your right, you cannot sit straight. Let me challenge you for more than 1 hour. The max a person can do is 1 hour. Beyond that, you cannot sit, right? Unless you are a yoga instructor or you've been doing yoga right from a childhood, stretching and all that. So what's happening here? And finally, you see pelvic tilt, where your back just tilts backward. This is also called the Donald Duck back. I do hope that all of you know what Donald Duck is, right? Especially 90s kids. Beyond that, I am not so keen in believing that you might know Donald Duck. But yeah, so you just run around like duck. That's how your back looks, right? So forward head posture, rounded shoulder, slumped back, and pelvic tilt. Now, let's just see what we can do about it and what are some of the challenges that this posture come with. I'll play this small video, just a 2-minute video. Please be attentive.
I think this day and age, it's the activities we do make it really difficult to maintain good posture. When your head is sitting straight over your shoulders, it weighs 12 pounds. When your head is just a little bit forward, that pressure goes up to 32 pounds. Everything we do is kind of that, looking down, reading a book, holding your phone, reading your phone. Working at work, and you kind of get away from your chair back and you're focused on the computer screen. Driving, you tend to pull away from the seat and hunch forward looking over the steering wheel. Probably the biggest consequence of having bad posture is just pain. If you're hurting in your neck and then you get stiffness and you can't turn your neck side to side, or you have difficulty sleeping because you're so stiff or it's so painful, very simple way to test whether you have good posture is to stand against a wall and with your back against the wall and see if you can get your heels, your buttocks, your shoulder blades, and your head to touch the wall without having to look up or down to get your head against the wall. Another good way is if you're lying on your back without a pillow on a flat surface. And can you get your head flat against the table or the surface you're lying on without having to look up? There are many different exercises you can do to improve posture. Stretching out the muscles in the upper part of your neck that get tight by having a forward head. Strengthening your back muscles that hold your shoulder blades in the right position. And strengthening your deep neck flexor muscles, which hold your head in the right position. Some tips for posture. Any surface you're sitting on, make sure that your shoulder blades are back against the chair. Any surface that has a headrest, use the headrest so that your head can't go forward.
Perfect. So here you heard from the expert herself as to what the posture could do to you and how to actually improve it. Now, let's dig a little deeper. Okay. And what are some of the impacts that these bad postures might have on us? Short term, long term, right? So here you go. Impact of our posture. You do see a person seated on the sofa, so comfortable, isn't it? How many of you think the first image is a comfortable posture for us to work, especially with the laptop on your lap? I mean, that's what it's meant to be. Laptop ought to be on your lap. Gautam, no, absolutely. Yes, Purnima, thanks a lot. It is a very bad posture. It's not correct. Maybe for that moment you'll have relief. And as you get settled in, you will have all bad experiences when you stand up. I've seen people literally blacking out and falling because they were seated like that for a long time. Yes, Imanshu, it's very bad for neck and even the back. So yeah. And here you go. Our body posture can influence our mood, our energy, and our focus. If we have a good posture and if we are exercising well, if we are active, our mood will always be boosted. Our mood will always be happy. Our happy hormones are having its gala time in our body, right? But if it's not, if we are struggling with our posture, the way we sit, and we forget ourselves and what our body is trying to give us as feedback, our mood would definitely go for a toss, right? And we'd have very bad energy, and then our focus would definitely go out of the window. We would not really be able to focus because your body is yearning and shouting out of you, crying out to you. It's as though a soul is crying out to you, asking for help. And yet your mind is so engrossed with the work and the deadline that you do not listen, right? Just like how our children keep shouting at us and yet we do not hearken unto them. Why? Because we are so busy, and this happens to be one of the most urgent work and the most important work, and we do not listen to them. And is the same, right? When the body shouts out to us, we do not listen. And what happens? The body stops shouting, stops nudging us, and then becomes or takes the shape as you want. But when you suddenly stand up, the rushing of blood from your heart to mind, to your brain and to the whole of body would be so high that people would just black out. So good posture would always influence your mood, your energy, and your focus. And poor posture can lower productivity. Why? Because you are not able to focus, you have very less energy, and your mood is out. And it can even decrease your self-confidence. Obviously, if you've ever seen a person who is having a bad posture, you would not see them confidently approach people, speak, or take the podium. They would feel too awkward, right? They'd always be conscious about, oh, how do I look? What are people thinking about me? So naturally, we as human beings, when we look good, we have great self-confidence, right? So our confidence, whether we like it or not, is so tied up with how we look, and especially with our body. That's why many people undergo body shaming. They shame themselves even. Now, let's now move on to movement breaks and stretching, because office-friendly stretchers would definitely relieve us from quite a lot of tensions that we might have. Now, what are these movement breaks? While you're working for hours together, all that you're required to do is just push your chair back and stand up, right? Walk around and then come back. If possible, you are moving your hands, arms, your wrist, right? Your neck, especially your neck, because your neck is being affected a lot. So you and I, we forget that these most basic exercises or even moves that come so instinctively to us, we kind of subdue them, that we do not do them when we are so caught up with the work. But our body really needs them. Just like how your tummy needs food time and again, or twice or thrice or 4 times a day, depending on your diet. Likewise, your body cannot sit for long. Your body needs that rush of energy and burst of energy, and that can only be achieved by moving and stretching. And now, what are the benefits of stretching while you're working? It combats stiffness. It could be in your neck, it could be in your back, in your body, right? And especially when you're doing a long drive, given Bangalore traffic, I'm pretty sure most of you may be traveling from one end of the city to another end of the city, that's Electronic City or wherever your company is, right? Given that many people are traveling, what happens when you sit in the same position for a very long time, especially when we drive, we do not move. We are so concentrating on what's in the traffic, what's coming in front of us, inside and things. We do not move, right? So our body becomes stiff. So when you do these small exercises, especially when you're working, the stiffness is taken off. When the stiffness is taken off, your body is now willing to play again because it's loosened up. It's no more stiff, right? And when you loosen up, you can achieve much more. It also improves blood circulation. Now, the moment you stand up from your current posture and you stretch and do all this, the blood starts rushing to the ends of the body. It could be your head, your toes, your finger ends, right? So blood circulation increases, and when blood circulation increases to the whole of body and especially to your brain, you feel refreshed. And when there is no constant blood circulation, or when it's halted by the position that you saw, the person sitting on the red couch, your blood doesn't really go to your head. It's struggling. And the moment you get up, there's this rush, and then people faint because the brain can't take the sudden rush of blood, right? So hence, you and I ought to often move so that our blood circulation would be regular. And then it also reduces the risk of repetitive strain injury. Have you ever seen people often complain about their back? And if there is any one health complaint that IT professionals have, it is their back, right? I had a very close friend who traveled 23 kilometers, and this chap had a very bad back injury, and he had to quit his job and move very close to the new job that he found. Why? So that he need not spend 1.5 hours to 2 hours one way and 4 hours a day in the traffic, right? So what happens? The back starts hurting. It may hurt you now, But on a long run, you may have serious back issues. It could be with your spine, it could be with your pivotal tilt, whatever it is, right? You're going to have quite a lot of injuries. And especially if you have strains and you go and play cricket, all of a sudden, you'll have very bad injuries. Have you ever felt this? You've not worked out, you've not had any physical exercise, and suddenly your friends call you to go and play cricket, or your friends call you to go dance on a retreat or a trip. The next day and the next 3 days, your body is really not cooperating with you, right? So what's happening there? Yes, Gautam. This happens often. And the moment you come home, you have injury. You've injured your leg. But the injury may not be as severe as sports injury, but this injury will definitely need at least a week for it to rejuvenate, right? So the benefit of stretching while you're working, while you're seated, are these. It combats stiffness, it improves blood circulation, and finally reduces strain injuries. And now let's look at few stretching techniques. The first one is neck stretch. This is where you look up and you push your head as backward as possible, and then you look down at least for 4 seconds and you push your head hard for at least 4 seconds, and then relax, and then you push your leg towards you push your neck towards the left for 4 seconds, and then towards your right for 4 seconds. And once that is done, you just turn your neck like this slowly, right? And this would actually benefit your neck. And then you do shoulder shrugs. It may not be so easy, but best thing I've found is to just put your hands like this on your shoulder and then do this, because even your chair won't come in to disturb you, and then anti-clockwise, right? Or you can just lift your shoulder and down, leave it down, and push it down, lift up and push it down, right? And then you can do something called as spine twist. Here you put your right hand on your left armrest and you turn back. While your body is straight, your legs are straight, you turn towards your left, and then your left hand on your right armrest, and then you turn. And you hold this position for 4 seconds. Do not hold, when you begin, do not hold any stretching position for more than 4 seconds. It's not advisable. You might get injured, right? So increase it gradually, but 4 seconds is the best to start off with. And then finally, because you are working on your laptop, typing, and many of us, let me be honest, are guilty of not really giving a hand the most comfortable position, especially when you sit and type, right? So because we are guilty of it, the only thing we can at least do to soothe and benefit our hand is to stretch our wrists, right? Hold your hand like this and pull it towards yourself for 4 seconds. And then do it the other way around. Down for 4 seconds, right? And one other stretch you can do for your hand is this. And do this for 4 seconds. So the more you do these, you actually are relieving your body of all the contained frustrations that you are not going through, but your body is going through. Now just imagine, we human beings, when we are frustrated, we just show that frustration, right? But how do you think your body would show? That is why you need to vent it out by stretching, right? Yes, Purnima, how many times a day should one do this? Let me be honest. I do this 3 to 4 times a week. Perfect. Very good enough. But for you to become much better at what you're doing and become much more fitter and healthier, this is what many experts say. You need to take a break every 30 minutes or 40 minutes. And I'm not asking you to go through the repetitions or reps of all these 4 exercises at one go. After half an hour, maybe I'll just do neck. After the next half an hour, I'll do the shoulder, right? Yes, Mariam, when you do this, you absolutely feel relaxed and your body will thank you. Your brain will thank you, right? Because our mind is not really able to see what our brain is going through. So our brains would definitely thank us. Yes, the neck will definitely be stiff and it will hurt. That's why I told you, take it slow, right? Start with 4 seconds. Do it slow. When you push your neck down, don't do it with all your energy. Just subtle push is enough. Something that's a little more out of your comfort zone. Don't push way beyond your comfort zone because your body is not acquainted to that and it definitely cause injury, right? So take it all very slow. And all of these exercises, when you do, your body feels relaxed, your mind feels relaxed, your productivity increases, your mood is just bursting forth with so much energy, right? So these are some of the stretching techniques. You can always go Google, YouTube, and see what best works for you, right? And I would suggest that there are many such techniques. Keep using those for some time, and whichever makes you feel better, whichever works for you, you should do that. What you have, rheumatoid arthritis, any suggestions for more exercises? There are. I think simple stretches would be more than sufficient, especially for arthritis, because your bones are not so strong, right? So we do have a disadvantage there. But I've seen people, even with arthritis, do some beginner level exercises. And those are more than sufficient, if you'd ask me, right? And for a healthy person who has strong bone and extra push it, right? But people who are physically disadvantaged, it could be because of illness or disease or whatever it is, we should always take it very slow. And don't be guilty. You need not do heavy things. I'll just play this.
If you're sitting at your desk working from home, take a break and do these 3 stretches with me. Right hand to the back of the chair, left hand to right knee and twist. Hands to knees, we round the spine, and then we arch the spine looking up. Cross one ankle over your opposite knee and lean forward. Let me know how that felt, and if you want more, comment below.
So, as you saw there, one exercise that really helps anyone who is traveling, and especially 2-wheeler or even 4-wheeler. While you are driving, you can do the cat and cow. Have you seen cats get up from their sleep? What do they do with their body, especially their back? They just go. They bend it as much as possible. It's crazy. Human beings, unless you are a yoga instructor, it's impossible, right? Do that. And then you also go like this, back, pushing your back to the front towards your tummy. This one exercise can relieve people who are driving and would relax your back, especially for those who are traveling. Please keep that at the back of your mind and try doing this. I do not have a long drive, or even every day when I drive, I do not drive without doing that one exercise, cat and cow. I do that often. Now let's look at some ergonomics and workplace. Key ergonomic principles. First one, chair and desk height. It is very important to adjust the chair so the thighs are very parallel. They sit straight, as you see here, the person sitting, right, to the floor with the knees bent at 90 degrees. And also, when you keep the laptop, make sure that the screen is straight to your face, so that you need not look down or look too up if it's too high, right? Excuse me, sorry about that. Yeah. And the next one is screen positioning. As I was talking to you, many of us may not have bespoke and extremely costly setup as this person in the picture has. But what I've seen people do is just get a tabletop laptop holder which comes with fan, so that you can increase the size as you want. And I've seen many people even shuttle between standing and sitting while they work, right? So any of it works. I've seen even people keep books on their table so that they would get the elevated height that they desire and put the laptop on that. The only problem there is there's no air vent for the laptop. But yeah, anything works if it works. And then finally, keyboard and mouse placement. Position both at elbow height so that your wrist would not come under immense pressure. Hello, Dr. Manisha. Extremely sorry for digressing. Are others able to see the PPT here?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
we are
okay.
able to.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Doctor, I would suggest that you leave the meeting and join. Probably you'll get to see it when you rejoin. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know. Thanks, everybody. Yeah.
There is a view option, Santhosh. So if they choose for the side by side, so they can see both your video as well as presentation.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for that help. So appreciate that. Yeah, let's look at some more tips. Chair and desk arrangements. Adjustable chairs must. Don't sit on a wooden chair or a plastic chair because there's no padding. Even with the padding, don't sit on those chairs because your body needs some movement. Have you ever seen a difference wherein when you sat on a wooden chair, you're just sitting, right? Because your body doesn't want to take any risk of movement. But when you're sitting on a proper adjustable chair, you are moving, you are shaking, right? You are doing this and all that. So naturally, when you have adjustable chairs, it gives you that freedom to do all of this. Great. Glad you could see that, doctor. Yeah. And then, the seating arrangement is one of the most important aspects. Many of us, all of us are made differently, right? Some of us are tall, some of us are short. So make sure that your office desk and your chairs are adjustable, and see what you can do if office arrangements are not up to your physical stature. See what you can do. You can just elevate your chair maybe by adding a cushion or two, or add a couple of books, or just get a tiny little extender. See what you could do to make it better. But at the end of the day, this is one of the most important aspects. If you mess up with this, you really suffer. And by that, I mean your body will suffer. And along with your body, your mind, your emotions, everything will go for a toss, because our whole body is so intertwined with each other, right? And then as a result, you get frustrated, and then your family is also frustrated because you are showing your frustration at home or with your friends, right? So consider this one of the most important aspects, your seating arrangement. Lighting and glare. Sit in a very well lit place, because the screen before you is emitting light, and if everything around is dark and your eyes are only focused on this tiny little light, you will lose your eyesight very soon. It will lose its power, right? It's very bad. So make sure that the room is very well lit, and if possible, don't put any lamp in front of you. Let the light source be always behind you, and always keep your screen brightness level to the minimum. That will always help. I'm not telling the most minimum in your laptop, because you can't see at the end of the day, right? If you're working during the daytime, sunlight. So whichever is visible, keep that minimum. And then finally have a daily workplace check. What do I mean by this? Every day in my previous hour, my friend, the moment he comes to his table, he would set everything and see if all the things are set properly. Because when leaving the workplace, he was in a hurry. He'll always be in a hurry. He would just leave things as it is, right? But the next day, as soon as he enters, he sets his table properly. And that itself would be a great moral boost for him and for all of us if we just set the table properly, right? Because our eyes tend to take what it sees. If the desktop and the desk is very well maintained and all properly arranged, you will work very happily. And now if it's very shabby, wires are fallen here and there, too many colors before you and stuff, you definitely be distracted subconsciously, right? So you should always have a routine. What this guy used to do, he would set up his table and make sure he has this small tiny Buddha, baby Buddha statue. He would keep it right next to the laptop where he keeps his mouse, as though Buddha is looking at him. So he found some purpose in doing that, because he likes looking at Buddha pictures and things, because he says that I find peace in that. So he does that. So likewise, just find what routine suits you. I had another friend who just come and pat the money plant as though it was a pet, right? So she would do that and then get to the work that she is supposed to do. So there are so many things that you can actually do to make your work seem very better. So follow all of these, and I'm pretty sure you're going to have a wonderful time. Now, we should also integrate mindful movement daily. What do I mean by mindful movement? I'm not talking about finding time to hit the gym, because most of us don't have that luxury of time. You may have money. I'm pretty sure you do not have the greatest money that no one can buy, time, right? So I'm not speaking about any big thing, a Himalayan task, but all I'm talking about are small intentional movements and being aware of our body. What do I mean? When you walk, you are aware of how you are walking. You are aware of how your legs are feeling. Yeah. You are aware of how your shoulders are, how your neck is. So you're being mindful. And when you lift up something, you do not bend with your back and lift. Ones who are really mindful, they would bend their knees and go down and pick it up so that they would not hurt their back. So these are some of the mindful movements that I'm talking about. Otherwise, what happens, I have a very close friend who, while lifting his suitcase just before boarding the train, slipped his spine, and he was in the hospital for 3 weeks. We all laughed at it, but he went through the pain, right? So all I'm trying to tell is we really need to be mindful of every single movement that we are making every single day. Now, mindful movement is about engaging with the body's sensations. How are you sensing? What does your body sense, right? And then noticing areas of tension. Do you find anything that is making you feel uncomfortable? Is it your back? Is it your neck? Or something like that? And then moving purposefully to relieve those discomfort. Mindful movement is about engaging with the body sensations, noticing areas of tension, and moving purposefully to relieve discomfort. And now let's look at some of the most important aspects. let's learn to incorporate micro breaks. What do I mean by micro breaks? I think one of you in the chat box had told that you do these stretches 4 times a week. I'm pretty sure you're doing it 4 days. And whenever you're doing those stretches, you're doing it in one go. Like morning 7 to 7:20, I'm stretching and exercising, right? Wonderful, wonderful. That would keep any normal, physically active person much more healthy. Yes, thanks a lot for affirming, Purnima. That would keep a normal person much healthy. But for those who are sitting for hours together, that will not be of a great gain. Why am I telling that? I'll tell you why. Along with doing that, Purnima, would you, if your what do I call that? If you desire, right, take micro breaks while you're working. After an hour, you just stand up and stretch. Do a couple of stretches. Or after an hour, just go to the water table, get some water, drink some water, and sit. Or after every hour of sitting, you do one exercise. It could be regarding your arms or shoulder, or it could even be regarding your leg, like sitting and lifting up your leg wherever you are seated, so that your hamstring would feel better, right? And there'll be enough blood flow even on your legs. So take those micro breaks. These micro breaks helps a lot. And now some quick techniques for body awareness. Let's do some body awareness thing, okay? May I request all of you to just close your eyes. Just sit in a very comfortable position. Whatever position is comfortable for you, just comfort yourself, sit snugly, sit straight. Now breathe in for 4 seconds. Breathe in. Hold your breath. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. Breathe in. Hold. Breathe out. As you continue breathing in and breathing out, just be conscious about your breath, how you're breathing, the pattern. Not just that. May I request you to now reflect on which part of your body is shouting at you and is telling, I'm feeling sore, I'm feeling uncomfortable. You can scan. Now look at your head. Think about your head. Consider your head. Do you feel any uncomfortable feeling in your head? Your neck, shoulder, your back, your arms, your thighs, your legs, release. And now what happens here is, while I was doing this, I was very much aware of my legs, that is especially my thighs and my hamstring, right leg hamstring being very stiff, because I knew I rode almost 3 hours today, dropping my daughter at school and having a meeting with a friend of mine, right? So let me ask all of you to just put out, yes, thank you, Purnima, neck and shoulders. Gautam, stomach and upper back, neck, stomach, perfect. Now, because you are aware of what your body is telling you, you will be now taking the necessary precautions, right? If your stomach is shouting out, you will see if you've really taken enough water today. Have you hydrated yourself, right? And if it's your neck and shoulder, you will see whether it is connected to the way you slept last night without using a pillow, or by using a bigger pillow, or whatever it is. Or did you do something today that really caused this? So being aware of what our body is telling us is one of the most important aspects. And that will definitely save you, your body, and your family quite a lot of ordeals and frustrations. Be very mindful. And I would say that you do this every single day as you meditate. And then finally, also be mindful when you walk, right? Have this 2 minutes of walk in your office, or in the veranda, or in the leisure place, wherever you think your mind would feel better. Just go to that place. Walk mindfully. Be aware of the situations. Be aware of your body. Walk for a couple of minutes. And even when you stand or sit, be very mindful. And all of these things, when you inculcate in your regular daily life, it would make your body, your mind, and your soul very active and more productive. And frustrations, anger, and all things that are tied with these illnesses and diseases, especially that are caused because of prolonged sitting, can easily be cured. And then finally, practice self-care. How many of you actually take at least, say, half an hour a week to just pamper yourself? Exfoliating your skin, shaving with hot water, bathing, and enjoying it, right? It could be your pedicure, your manicure. For men, it could be meditation, it could be hitting the gym, it could be playing shuttle, right? There are so many self-care practices. Pamper. Meditation I do daily. Super. Very good, Gautam. That will definitely keep your mind active. Absolutely. Right? We should start doing all this so that we would actually be at the best of our potential every day, because our body and mind, no, it tends to have this, upper days and lower days. But rather, when we do all of these things every day, will definitely help us have a normal day every single day, a day that we enjoy. Thanks a lot, Gautam. Walking close to tree is very calm. Green. The reason I chose green as a theme in all the PPT presentation, whenever it comes to these topics, is it makes us calm, right? So yeah, thanks a lot for pointing that out. Do you have any question at all? Just go to the chat box and type it out. Going for nature trips, Kur, Goti, etc. Amazing. You can even hit the park within your IT park, or in and around your house.
Hi, Santhosh. This is a great session. All the exercises that you shared, do you have it in a chart or something? I'd love to print it out and keep it on my desk so that I remember and do these. Because there were quite a few. You had like neck, and then you had shoulder, had leg, right?
Perfect. What I'll do is I'll share this PPT in PDF format to Pinkasha, and as a follow-up email, you'll get it. Would that be okay? Pinkasha, is that okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot.
We will test the exercises in it. No, we probably don't need the whole PPT. So because if you PDF it, we can't take it out, no?
Got that. Okay.
What I'll do is I'll take a screenshot of those 2-3 slides where there are exercises. And Nima, just checking, did you also register for this event? Only then
Yes.
I'll have your email ID.
I did.
Great.
Great.
Then I'll drop you an email.
Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you think you want much better looking, aesthetically alluring pictures that would remind you Purnima, I would say go to Pinterest. You have so many printable good things. You can do that as well. But definitely, we will share this to you, just in case you want to use this even to enlighten your family members or friends. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, just listen to this statistics. Okay, close to 16%. There's a higher risk. 16% of people are at higher risk of dying from all causes. It could be cancer, it could be any kind of disease, right? If you are sitting for a long time, you have 16% greater risk of dying from all cause. It would aggravate the cause, the illness that you already have, right? So 16% higher risk of dying from all cause. And then 34 higher risk of dying from cardiovascular disease. If you or anyone has this disease, cardiovascular or any heart related disease, they, when they have a job that asks them to sit for prolonged time, 34% of them are at a very higher risk of dying very early, right? And then finally, as a hope, if you are able to do about 15 to 30 minutes, a minimum of 15 minutes of physical activity in your routine every single day, this is apart from your daily routine, right? Those micro breaks and all, if you take, and you are able to do that in between your long tiring day, all these risks would be reduced to a very drastic level. So there is hope. There is hope. Though the things fitted against us are large, we do have hope, right? So wishing all of you all the best. And it's my it's my desire to thank all of you for being such a wonderful audience and for filling the chat and for being very engaging. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Pinkasha, for the opportunity as well.
Thank you, Santhosh. We've been loving the sessions, and also just a quick announcement. So on the 14th of November, it is a World Diabetes Day. And on this day, we wanted to do an awareness webinar on some lifestyle changes that we can make to control diabetes. And great that if you guys don't have it, but it's a lifestyle disease and we have to we cannot really ignore it. So I'm going to share the quick link for the Luma page that we've made the event live on. So guys, if you are free on the 14th for an hour, we're just doing an informative session. It's going to be super interactive, just like this one. Ask all your questions from a diabetes coach, and yeah, let's try and control diabetes. So thank you again, Santhosh, and thank you everybody for taking out the time. And I really feel refreshed. And please share the PPT with me so that I can share those postures with the folks who joined the call today.
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
Thank you, Santhosh.
Thanks a lot, folks. Thank you.